Welcome. I'm Meredith. This is the Oasis Spiritual Empowerment Tarot, all about tarot, oracle, and empowering you. And today's video is actually, I guess, about me. This is a VR to Simon of the Hermit's Cave, and the hashtag is TarotTubersAtoZ. Now, this is an older hashtag, but I recently saw Cardinal Spirit Readings do this, and I quite liked it. So I will link her video along with Simon's original, and definitely check those out. So I'm gonna get right in because it's a few things, right? A to Z. So first is age for A, and I will say that I am not yet 50. And we'll leave it at that. And I may be not 50 for a long time. We'll see. Okay, B, my favorite book. That's really hard. I have so many favorites, like tarot decks. But if I had to only pick one, it would be Les Miserables, which is also my favorite musical. And not just because it's based on the book, because it's fabulous in its own right. But it's beautifully written, and it's wonderful. And there's so much in that book that's just incredible. The descriptions, everything. And I can't even talk today, so I apologize. C is career. What career did you want as a kid, and what is it now? As a kid, I wanted to do everything. I wanted to be a detective, and I wanted to be a singer. And, I originally went to school as a criminal justice major, looking toward, like the psychological aspects of crime and forensics and all that. Then I switched to anthropology with a minor in archaeology. Then I joined the Navy. Then I went back to school for computers. And now I am a hypnotist and a spiritual life coach. So, my interests and my education, I think, have all kind of worked to bring me to where I am. And I still use a lot of the things that I learned today, and they've just helped kind of add and create who I am now. So, but I still want to do everything and know everything. That's kind of me in a nutshell. But anyway, D is dream. What is my dream? You know what I really want to do? And I may do, not tomorrow, but maybe within a year or so. I'd really love to get like a minibus and convert it and travel around just for like 6 to 12 months, really get to know different areas. There are some places that I know I just want to visit for a longer period of time. There are other places that I want to really investigate, because ultimately I want to buy a decent plot of land, build it. I call it my tiny house. It really wouldn't be a tiny house. It's probably, I'm looking at maybe around 1,500 square feet, and build an office on that land too. And maybe I even thought about setting up like some tiny houses or something on the property if I had enough. And it's a whole thing. I'm not gonna bore you with all that, but basically, yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to start a garden, and I do not have a green thumb, but I can learn, so we'll see. But yeah, right now I'm working on downsizing, which will help take that next step. E is essential item. Moisturizer, 100%. Have to have it for my face, for my body, for my hands, everything. Need moisturizer. Even when I go, I like to go backpacking and stuff, and I always bring moisturizer. I have to have it. Yeah, super, super important. Favorite RWS deck? That's F. So now I'm taking this very literally, like an RWS deck, not RWS based. Because if it was based, it would be too hard. But for RWS, I mean, I guess this isn't 100% exactly, but it's got some of Pixie's artwork. And this is Pixie's Whisper, which I found thanks to Simon. I love this deck, and I'm not a fan of Pixie's art, but this was done so beautifully, and I absolutely love it, and I can't get over how much I love it, because I really don't like the original artwork, but this is fabulous. The quality is fabulous. I love the way it feels in my hands. I love the backs. I love that they're different. So, oops. Love everything about it. Oh, and I should say this is by Laureen Music. And you can find it at divinationapothecary.com. Fabulous deck. Really love it. And originally I thought I would only really use it for clients, but I actually enjoy using this for me too, which is super unusual for me when it comes to RWS. So I think it's a really special deck. Comes in this gorgeous pouch, which is just fabulous quality. Okay. G, gold or silver? Both. 100% both. Love both. But if I absolutely had to pick, it would be gold. But I do love both. I love to mix them. Yeah. H is height. I am 5 foot 8 inches. Maybe a smidge below 5'8", but if I wear just sneakers, I'm above 5'8". So, I'm right there. I is ideal day. So that's hard because, it changes based on my mood and different things. But right now, in this moment, I would say the ideal day for me would be to wake up early before the sun comes up, take my puppy, drive over to Starbucks, get some coffee, and then go sit and watch the sun come up. And then go backpack somewhere up in the mountains. Cook over an open fire. And just, not see another soul. Just really be out there in that complete darkness with just the stars, maybe the moon. That cool, crisp air. That would be perfect. And that's coming soon. But yeah, I haven't been camping in a really long time, and I went when was it last year? Oh my god. So it must have been, I guess it's been almost 2 years. When I had my first surgery, I was almost recovered, and I just started to do day hiking, and then I had to have my second surgery. So I haven't been, and I bought a new tent, haven't even put it up. But this spring I am going, so I'm looking forward to that. J is joke. I am the worst person. I cannot tell a joke. I don't remember jokes. I have one joke. It's a terrible joke. I find it funny just because it's so silly, but here it is. What do you call a boomerang that doesn't come back? A stick. I know it's terrible. I know. I'm just not the person who goes around telling jokes. K is for kids. I have one kid. Ava. She's 23. And yeah, she is my heart. L is for living arrangements. So right now I'm in a way too big house. Theoretically, my daughter lives with me, but she sleeps here sometimes, breezes in and out. I mean, she's 23. So, but I also live with my dog, who I call a puppy, but he's a little older than that. But he's my baby, and 3 cats. 2 of which, well, one is Ava's, and that's Kitty the cat. And then I have a cat who's basically feral and is no one's cat. He's just sort of fed by me and all that. But that is Johann Sebastian Bach Gutenberg. It's a big name, but he is a big cat. He's a Maine Coon. And then Binks, who is a beautiful black cat, who is theoretically my daughter's, but he's my baby too. So, and in fact, when I do my mini bus, Binks and Alexander Hamilton, my dog, will both be coming with me. Binks is the most laid back cat ever. And I got to get a harness for him because I think he would love, going for walks outside. So we have to test that out. I haven't done it yet, but nothing shakes that cat. And now Marseille deck for M. What's my favorite? This is another one that I thank Simon for. This is the New Choice Tarot de Marseille. This is the 2nd edition, and it's by Rosario Salerno. And his other tarot is coming soon. I'm so excited. So I've been watching that eagerly. This deck, look at these backs. This is the most beautiful Marseille deck just ever. And there are a couple that I absolutely love, but this deck. So Simon, this is one of Simon's favorite decks, and he showed it quite a bit. And at the time, it was out of print, and I kept watching. I'm like, oh, that's got to come back. And I was looking for it, in like, the swap forums and stuff like that, and I could never find it. And I was so excited when this came out in the 2nd edition because it just warms my Leo heart. It's so beautiful and so... I really love it. I mean, look at... It's gorgeous. Really, really love. Look at that. It's a fabulous, fabulous deck. Yeah. So... Definitely. This is one that I didn't have to think about. And I do have a few that I really, really love. But this is the one. If I could only have one Marseille deck, it would be this one. Okay. N is for nickname. No. No nickname. It's Meredith. It's 3 syllables. It's not that bad. Although I will say, when I was a teenager, I had one friend who would call my house and ask for me, and he called me Megadeth, which did not please my mother. But O is for Oracle. It's so hard. So I guess this is my favorite Oracle, and I have like 100 favorites. But if I have to pick, I would say right now, and I've already talked about this, but it's true. So this is Witch Cats, and it's by Nicole Pyre. So this deck, first of all, it's super beautiful, right? It's super beautiful. And it's so funny because, it has the messages on the back, which normally I don't like, but they're beautiful messages. And I love this deck so much. And this deck is super special to me because, for years, my daughter wanted nothing to do with tarot, nothing to do with Oracle, wouldn't let me read for her, no interest. I showed her this deck. She said she liked it. I got it for her for Christmas. She loves it. She's been using it like crazy. And then she got a gift card at Christmas, and she used it to buy a tarot deck. So it's just funny, but it's nice because it's something that we can kind of bond with. It's super special to me because of that. I do have to add one more, though, because I use this deck with everything, and that is Roots and Wings. So this is one that like I can never be without this deck. So I figured I needed to add it. So this is the pocket sized. I do have the full size, and I love that the images are bigger, but like, this is my deck. You know what I mean? I've bonded with this deck. This is one of the first oracles I ever got. And actually, the funny thing is, Witch Cats has a sister deck that came out first called Spirit Cats. And this, I edged it. Same format, same, This deck is also one of the first Oracle decks that I ever got. So I came to Oracle a bit late. So it's only been a few years. But, so I edged this. This might have been the first deck I ever edged. I made a huge mess, and I love it. It's just one of those. I love it. I love Roots and Wings. But I also just love this specific deck. It's messy, but it's earthy, and it just feels very real, and I love it. I love it, love it, love it. And, it goes with everything. I don't always use this deck, but I always go back to it, and it reads beautifully, and it feels just so wonderful. Very, very easy reader. And this is one of the very few decks that actually I use the spread that they give it. They have this beautiful garden spread, and it's just so perfect for this deck. Yeah, this is such a nice earthy, and you can see I really messed it up, right? I mean, I just did, but I don't care. Like, it's perfect for me the way it is. And I wouldn't change it. I really, really wouldn't. So hopefully I don't horrify the creator if she ever sees this, but I actually like the way it turned out. What happened is I started edging it with a marker that didn't really work, and then I went over it with I tried like 3 or 4 different markers to get it to stay, and it was a mess, but it worked. So, P is passion. What am I passionate about? Everything. So here's the thing about me. I am either ice cold or fiery hot, right? I'm either super passionate about something, or I absolutely don't care about it at all. But that said, I would say that learning, right? That's definitely it's been a huge focus of my life, and just helping people. When I was going through my training to be a hypnotist, one of my mentors said to me, in a very accusatory way, that I want to heal the world. And at the time I refuted that, but she's not wrong, except she's wrong in thinking that that's a bad thing. Her concern at the time, which I understand, was that I would burn myself out. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to heal the world, so that's crazy. But I feel like I'm a perfectionist, but also I'm okay when things aren't perfect too. You know what I mean? So I want to strive to that absolute maximum, always. But if they don't quite hit it, that's okay. I'm not the type of person who beats myself up over stuff, honestly. So yeah. Q is quote. So my favorite quote, and I mean, this has been since I was like 13 when I discovered it, is by Rodin. And it is, nothing is a waste of time if you use the experience wisely. And that's kind of been like the mantra of my life, you know. I absolutely believe it. I've lived it, and I love it. R is relationship status. I am single. I am so single. I don't really have time to date. You know, I work a lot. Not really looking for anything. I tend to. This is gonna sound terrible, but when it comes to dating, I tend to get bored of people. I think. You know what happens is I'm changing all the time. Like, I'm really changing all the time, and for me to have a lasting relationship with anyone, they would have to be that same way. You know what I mean? So yeah, so at this point in my life, I'm not looking for anything. If something were to happen, that would be okay. But it's also okay if it doesn't. And I do tend to be, I do what I want to do. You know what I mean? Which, I'm not saying that's good or bad. It's just the way it is. Okay, season, fall and winter, 100%. I don't want to pick one. Especially, these days, it used to be when I was a kid, fall lasted for months. Now it lasts like a week. So they kind of bleed into each other. T is for tarot, your first and your last. So if you are not new here, you will already know at least one of those answers. So my first deck is the Crowley Thoth Tarot. This poor box. This box is hanging on, though. I don't even care. So I've had this deck since the 80s. Say mid 84, 86, somewhere around there. Love it. This is like my home deck, This is the one that I will always go back to. It's not a deck that I use to read for other people anymore. I just use it for me. And I don't use it all the time, but every time I pick it up, it's like coming home. It's just a wonderful deck. It's not my prettiest deck, right? But for me personally, it's definitely my most powerful deck. So yeah, love it. And yeah, and I'll tell you, as much as, there are so many decks that I absolutely love. But, if I absolutely could only ever have one deck, that would be the one. It's the one deck I had for decades. And it would have to be the one. Now, that said, there's no way I'm not getting rid of, not getting rid of my decks. But I'm just saying. The last one is the Glamorous Tarot. And this is by Jessica Horton. And this one is so different. It's so different from pretty much all my other decks. Definitely different from Thoth. It's just so... It's so fun and it's very, very modern, which is not my typical aesthetic. But I'm really loving it. And it's just, the suits are different makeup components. And I just did an unboxing and a walkthrough of this deck. But I don't know. I love it. The quality is fabulous. It feels so nice. And it's just, I love it. I really do. And I'm so surprised by how much I love it. So it just goes to show you never know. And I quite like broadening my aesthetic. So I really appreciate that this deck, does that. So that is my most recent tarot. U is for upset. What upsets me the most? So most of the time, I'm pretty laid back. But there are, I guess, two things that really get me going. First one is willful ignorance. Oh man, have we seen a lot of that in the last few years? That drives me nuts. We're all ignorant about some things, right? But to purposefully keep yourself ignorant is inexcusable as far as I'm concerned. And remember, knowledge is a big key to me. The other one is harming innocence, right? Whether it's children, whether it's animals, it could be adults too. But that's, I'm not a proponent of harming anyone, you know what I mean? But when you hurt someone who's innocent, there's that extra awfulness to it, that goes beyond just that on the surface you hurt someone. It just makes it worse. V is for vlog. What's the one I'm most proud of, and what is my most popular? I think that the one I'm most proud of is the first one I did. This is something I've been thinking about doing for a long time. I was absolutely not ready to do it. I recorded the first one just with my phone. I didn't have a mic. I didn't have anything. But the whole reason I did it was I was actually working with a deck, and I suddenly felt like I needed to share a reading. And maybe that sounds stupid, but it's the truth. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to record it. I'm going to make this channel, and I'm just going to do it. And that's what I did. And it's definitely not perfect. The quality's definitely not the best. But it felt important to me to share that. Whether it's been important for anyone to receive it, I couldn't tell you. But the fact that I did it, and I did it being so imperfect, it was a big deal, I think. So I'm most proud of that, I think. My most popular is the 22 best mass market tarot under $24. So that has been really popular. So, and if you want, I'll link everything I mention in the description. And W is for weakness. I think oftentimes weaknesses are just the other side of that coin of strength. They're the flip side of strength. So often they're the same thing. And I think that's true for me, because I want to know and experience everything. And sometimes I take too much on at once. And I don't. I tend to think that things are going to take less time than they do. I have really bad, so this is a weakness, I guess. I have really bad concept of time. So never ask me how long something's going to take, because it could go either way. Sometimes I'll be like, oh, that'll take an hour, and it takes 10 minutes. Or I'll be like, oh, it'll take me like 10, 15 minutes, and it takes 2 hours. So never believe me when I estimate time, because it's probably going to be wildly wrong. But I try. I just have a weird concept of time. Even when it comes to like I'll be talking to a friend and I'll say, hey, remember the other day when we did this thing? And they'll just kind of stop and look at me and they'll say, we did that 2 years ago. Come on. Or again, I'll do the opposite and I'll say, yeah, remember like a couple years ago we went to such and such a place? And they'll say, we did that last week. So yeah, my concept of time is crazy. I'm very much an in the moment person. And I'm an extremist, which sometimes can be really good. Sometimes it can definitely be a weakness. And that's why the Two of Pentacles haunts me always. Because it is a constant battle within myself for balance. Yeah. But again, sometimes that extremism can be really good because once I decide to do something, I dive into it 100%. So that's good. But yeah. X is for X-rated. This is something naughty that I've done. I don't know. I'm gonna steal Simon's because it's true, and I can't really think of anything else that I want to share. But Simon mentioned skinny dipping, and I have done that. I have never been busted doing it though, so I don't know. I guess it's not as spicy. But I have, I like to swim naked. It's, I mean, it depends on where it is, but have done that. I've been naked in the woods. Is that naughty? Maybe. I didn't go around flashing people though, so yeah. Y is for yesteryear. Your favorite year so far and why? It's this year. It's always going to be this year because again, I'm a very in the moment person, and I think as I look back over my life, there were certainly moments of different years that were super special or wonderful. I mean, my daughter was a baby. I love babies. I'm a huge baby person. I really do. And it's such a special time, and there's a closeness that you have, or that I had with my daughter when she was little. Like 0 to probably about 6 years of age. I remember picking her up from daycare, and she'd run to me and she'd wrap her arms around me and just cling like she would never let me go. And that is the best feeling ever. And I miss that. But I can't really say that's my favorite year. You know what I mean? I cherish the wonderful memories of past years, but wherever I am, that's my favorite. Okay, Z is for Zen. What do I do to relax? I'm very good at relaxing. It's part of my job. I do use hypnosis for myself. I also meditate. I also love just shuffling a deck is very relaxing to me. And I think I brought this up in another video, but let me grab. Oh, we're gonna grab this one because it's so yummy to shuffle. What I realized only after I started this channel and started watching my videos is that I go into trance as I shuffle decks. I just do. And I think I always have. I just never really noticed, So it's very relaxing. It's very, I think, hypnotic in a lot of ways. And of course, I just put moisturizer on, so the cards are a little slippery. But and this is the Tarot Des Ambiguites, and this is another one. I'm not doing this on purpose, that I found thanks to Simon, and I just did an unboxing with this, and I super love this deck too. can I tell you? And the quality is so fabulous, and it's so unique. Really fabulous. But yeah, I love shuffling. It's just wonderfully, wonderfully relaxing. Also, I do Tai Chi and yoga. And, we're going to do this. We're going to do this because, if you're looking for a way to relax, I have a fabulous technique that you can do right away. Super easy, super quick. And if you practice it just for, a couple days, maybe a week, you can very quickly do it in a very subtle way. So nobody even knows what you're doing. So let's do that. If you're interested, because I love to spread relaxation. So this is what you do. Super simple. You want to rate yourself on a scale of 0 to 10. 10 being the worst stress ever. 0 being total peace and calm. Because you need to know where you start to see where you end up. Then notice that stressful feeling. What color is it? First impression, what's the color? There's no right or wrong. It's just in that moment. What color does it feel like? And then once you have that, what color feels better? What color feels calming, soothing, relaxing? And when you have that, all you're going to do is close your eyes, because people tend to imagine better with their eyes closed. Close your eyes and just use that wonderful imagination and imagine that beautiful energy, whatever color it is for you, that calming, soothing energy all around you. It's like if you ever walk out into a heavy fog or a mist and you could just feel it on your skin. Kind of like that. Maybe it has a scent. Maybe it has a sound. Maybe you can even taste it on your lips, on your tongue. And when you've got it, and you can just feel that beautiful, soothing energy all around you, you're just gonna inhale and just take in all of that calming, soothing energy. Let it really fill you up, expand your stomach. And then you're gonna release that other color, that color that you don't need anymore. And then just one more breath, just taking in all of that calming, soothing energy. And release that other stuff because you don't need it anymore. Now, just notice where you are on that scale now. And if you're not at 0 yet, just do the technique again. Because you will get to 0, and once you get to 0, you're going to stay at 0. It's a fabulous way to begin your day if you begin it feeling, less than calm. And it's a fabulous way to end your day, to just release all that junk that accumulated throughout the day. So, that was my A to Z. I hope it was at least a little interesting, and I definitely hope that you try this 2-breath technique, because it is very powerful, and you can use it, by the way, for anything. You can always use it to control your state. Whether you want to be more relaxed, whether you want to feel more motivated, whether you want to feel happier, you can always make yourself feel happy if you want. And this technique is how to do it. Just rate yourself in the scale. Notice the color. The color might change. It might stay the same. Doesn't matter. It's just in that moment. What color feels like that color that you want less of? And what color feels like the color you want more of? And that's it. and then breathe. And, when you first start, you want to really exaggerate it. Really just let your stomach puff out as you inhale, and just really suck it in as you just push all of the air out. But after using it for maybe about a week, you can probably do it just, and nobody knows what you're doing. You could probably even do it with your eyes open. So let me know what you think. Let me know how you enjoy that technique. And until next time, just be wonderful to yourself. Be really, really wonderful, because you deserve the best, only the best, all the best, and that is my wish for you.